Very good evening, Sirsha ma'am. Okay, so now I start my lecture. So as you all know, today is the day for subject specific lecture, and in today's lecture we shall talk about the students of commerce and management only, and we shall talk about the different strategies, and we shall talk about the syllabus to be covered, and I shall tell you which book to refer and which specific topics are to be left from the syllabus, because the syllabus is too vast. As you know, even if we take the classes on daily basis, I know I can take the class for 1 hour for one subject, or 2 or for one subject. Still the syllabus covered in the examination of net and JRF module is for past 7 years, and no one can complete it. You know that. And so that's why there are some strategies by going to which you can get to know that there are some modules by which very less portion is covered in the examination. Okay, so you can skip some of the parts, and some are very worthy part. So in this video I shall tell you in detail what to study, what to leave, and what should be your strategy. And from tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we shall start properly our lectures for the different single modules in the syllabus. Okay, so now I share my screen so that you can see the presentation I have made for today. So before going to the presentation, I request each and everyone to please mute themselves. Okay, and I do not want any kind of problem from anybody. Okay, so before going to presentation, I just need the quick confirmation from each and everyone. Just message me that is my voice audible. Just give me a quick confirmation, please, in the chat box, please. Just a quick confirmation from a few people, and then I start. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I have received the confirmation from each and everyone. So I start my lecture. And in this screen, I am just sharing the presentation I have made for today's lecture. So this is the thing in today's lecture I am going to cover. So this is going to be specifically for paper 2 and for those students only who belongs to with the stream of commerce and management. And this video is going to be part first, because as you know that there are 10 subjects which are to be covered for the paper 2 syllabus. And in this video, I can make this video for 25 to 30 minutes of, by now. Okay. So I cannot cover the details of each and every subject. So in this video, I shall cover about the details of 5 subjects to be covered. And I shall tell you in detail what you can study, what you can skip, and which module has a proper importance. Okay. So now I move further in this. I have written the subjects. Before reading about the subjects, I would like to tell you that the weightage of this particular exam is 200. Okay, I am talking about the paper 2 subject. 100 questions shall be asked to you. 100 questions shall be there, and each question shall contain 2 marks. Okay, so the total weightage of this paper shall be 200. Okay, so paper 1 is for 100 marks and paper 2 is for 200 marks, and the total weightage or the total marks of the net and JRF examination are 300. Okay, so there are 10 subjects to be covered for the paper 2, and from each subject 10 questions shall be asked. Okay, the weightage of each and every subject is 10 question only. I mean to say that from paper 1 and paper 2 there are 10 subject in all. Okay, 10 for paper 1 and 10 subject for paper 2, and it doesn't matter whatever the streams you belong to, whether you belong from commerce, management, economics, home science, or any subject. There are 10 subjects to be covered for the paper 2 syllabus. Okay, So from each subject 10 questions shall be asked. For example, the first syllabus in commerce, and the first uh, subject to be covered in the syllabus of commerce and management is business statistics and research methods, and 10 questions shall be asked from this particular subject, and its total weightage shall be 20 marks. Okay, and in the same way each and every subject shall contain 10 questions, 10 questions from the business management and from business economics and from business environment and so on. Okay, now you have got the proper information so that I can easily move further with the explanation of individual subjects now. Okay, so these are all the subjects. These are 5 subjects covered in this particular slide. Okay, the first one is business statistics, then business management, then business economics, and after that there is business environment, then there is accounting and auditing. After that there is business finance, there is banking, there is marketing management, legal aspects, and income tax planning. Okay, so I must tell you how much score you can gain from individual subjects. Okay, from business statistics you can get a 20 marks. Okay, if you are good enough, if you have practiced, then this is a very high scoring subjects. Okay, 10 out of 10 can be made right. Okay, from the business management and human resources planning you can never go beyond 8 questions, right? Okay, you can never go, whatever the syllabus you cover, I don't know, whatever the books you read, you can never make all the questions right. Okay, from business economics this is a very high scoring subject, 10 out of 10 can be made right. Okay, from business environment and international business you cannot go beyond 8 questions, you can never go, whatever the books you are covering the syllabus from, you can never go. Okay, so why I am telling all these things, just for the reason that you do not have to spend most of your time for these subjects. Okay, I know to some students these subjects can be very favorite. Okay, but you have to devote a proportional time to each and every subject, and most of the time should be devoted to those subjects who are very high scoring subject. Okay, I'm telling you in this video. Okay, then accounting and auditing you cannot go uh, with right questions. You can make only 8 questions right. Okay, from business finance you can make a 10 out of 10 right, this is a very high scoring subject. Okay, from banking and financial institution you cannot go beyond 8 questions. Marketing management you cannot go beyond 8 questions. Then legal aspects you cannot go beyond 8 questions. And for the last, this is income tax planning. Yes, 9 questions can be made right. One, you can never get to know from which particular chapter this question has been asked. Okay, so now I have you given the information regarding which modules are to be given the first preference, and how to which subject you should devote most of your time. You should not spend your time according to the subject you prefer or your favorite one. Okay, you should devote your time in a way that first of all you have to make the analysis which of the subjects are high scoring from the exam point of view. So now in this video I shall cover the details about first 5 subjects, and I shall tell you from which topics the questions are mostly asked and which topic you can leave from the point of view of examination. So the very first subject is business statistics. As I have already told you, this is a very high scoring, 10 out of 10 questions can be made right. Okay, if you are sound enough, if you have practiced a lot, if you have gone through all the videos, all the notes, all the test series and previous papers, then I am certainly sure. Okay, and one more thing before I read all this, I would like to tell you that although there are 2 subjects, paper 1 and paper 2, your preference, you have gone through from paper 2 subjects in your graduation and post graduation as well, and you are very new to paper 1. Okay, so that's why your target for paper 2 should be more than 70%. Okay, this should be more than 70%. I know to some students say it can be very difficult, who have not gone beyond 50 to 55%. but your target should be at least 70%. Okay, it can be gained, and this is very easy, and I shall tell you the proper strategies and the different things to be covered for gaining these much marks. Okay, so from business statistics and research method, this is the very first portion. Okay, this subject is for both. This is from theoretical part and practical part as well. And I must tell you, do not go for solving practical of each and every chapter. Do not go for solving practicals. It shall take much of your time, and none of the practical shall be asked in the examination. Its probability to be asked is just one question. Okay, just one question. If 10 questions will be asked from this particular subject, then the probability that the question shall be practical, it's only one question. Okay, so do not go for solving the practical aspects of all these subjects. Okay, because I know central tendencies you would have gone through at the time of your graduation and post graduation, and some of you will be very sound in solving the practical portion. Okay, you would be very much familiar with the dispersion, correlation, regression, and you would be having the habit of solving the practicals, but you are not supposed to do. Although for clarifying your concept, you can solve one practical, okay, from each chapter, but you are not supposed to waste your time in solving the practicals, because its weightage is very less. Okay, and by solving the practical of uh, some of the chapters, you can skip some very important uh, parts of the syllabus. Okay, so that's why do not go for solving the practical portion. Okay, the first one is central tendency dispersion measure. Its probability is less. Okay, because this is a very new subject from June 2019 it was added, and from then I have made the analysis. Very few questions have been asked, so you have to go for one or two readings only. Correlation regression is very important. One question shall certainly be asked. Then probability approaches and Bayes theorem, you can skip and you can have just mere one or two readings. Then probability distribution, binomial, Poisson, and normal. This is very important, and two questions are expected to be asked from this particular portion. Then a research, one question shall certainly be asked. Types, research design is a very important question. Okay, then sampling, estimation, probability, non-probability sampling. Yes, one question shall certainly be asked. Then sampling distribution, standard error. Yes, one question is expected. Hypothesis testing, very important, and two questions are expected to be asked from this particular part of a business statistics. And in the last, one question shall be asked from all the non-parametric tests. These are known as non-parametric tests, like chi-square test, Mann-Whitney, and this test, rank correlation test. Okay, so I shall give all the things in detail in the upcoming videos, and we shall cover all these tests, because I know that this is a very high scoring subject, and you can gain 10 questions, and this is very helpful for the other subjects as well, because it can fill up the gap if you are not able to gain much marks from some of the subjects. Okay, because I know all the 10 subjects can never be favorite of any particular student. Okay, okay, so I have given you information regarding business statistics. Now we move further to the next subject. This is business management and human resources. From this subjects, whatever you books you go through, do not waste much of your time, because you can never go beyond 8 questions. Okay, if you are very good, if you have a study for 8 or 9 hours on daily basis, and if you have gone through from many different books, still I'm 100% sure, because one or two questions will be asked in a way that you can never get to know from which chapter these has been asked. Okay, so I tell you what to do. This is principle and functions of management, very low probability. You have to give one or two readings only. Then organization structure and span of control. Yes, one question shall be asked. And after that, responsibility, authority, one reading is enough, very low probability. Then motivation and leadership. This is a very highly expected topic, and 2 questions are expected to be asked from this particular topic. After that, corporate governance, you can give one reading for business ethics only, but for from corporate governance, one question is highly expected. Then human resources management and role and function, one question shall be asked from this particular subject. Then a recruitment, selection, training and development is a very important topic. One question is expected. This is a very high scoring, because you can 100% be sure with this chapter and these two as well, motivation and leadership. I'll tell you what to study from these chapters particularly. Okay, and after that there is compensation management, incentives, very important part. One question is highly expected. Then performance appraisal, 360-degree performance appraisal, very important topic. One question is highly expected. And lastly, collective bargaining. Yes, this is also very important, and one question is expected to be asked from this particular portion. So you should do your study in a way that your books for graduation and post graduation, undergraduation and post graduation, should be sufficient for covering all these parts, and you are not supposed to purchase any extra book for that. But certainly you need a guidance. Okay, with that, without that you can not make more than 5 questions right. Okay, 5 questions you can make if you study at your own only. Okay, so you can study these books for this particular subject. And from personality, yes, personality and perception, one question is highly expected. And lastly, organizational cultural development, you can give 1 or 2 readings only. This is not highly probable from the exam point of view. Okay, so now we have gone through from 2 subjects, and now we study business economics, one of my favorite subject. 10 out of 10 questions may be right, I must tell you, because these questions are very clear cut. Okay, the exam in exam very clear cut questions are asked, and you, if your concepts are very clear from this particular subject, I'm sure 10 out of 10 subjects questions should be made right. Okay, I always encourage the students to get 70% marks, because or because whatever I tell you to do, I have already done all these things. Okay, I knew that my paper 1 is not very strong. I had the target of gaining only 60 to 65% marks in paper 1, and I knew that from paper 1 I have some very important analysis, so that's why I can go beyond 71, and I got 72% in that. And from this module and business statistics and business finance, I checked from the answer keys that my 10 out of 10 questions were right. Okay, so from those experience, I am telling you that these subjects are very clear cut, and the questions asked are not that much difficult to understand. Okay, so from objective of firm, one question shall certainly be asked. Then demand analysis, elasticity of demand, and this particular chapter, this is average revenue and marginal revenue. One question is highly expected. And after that, consumer behavior indifference curve, one question is expected. And after that, return law of variable proportion. Okay, this is from chapter of prediction curves. One question is highly expected. Then theory of cost, 2 questions are expected. And after that, price discrimination. From these 2 parts, 3 questions will be asked. Let me tell you, 3 questions shall be asked from price determination in different market forms. This is perfect competition, then monopolistic, then monopoly, and oligopoly. From pricing strategies, 1 question shall certainly be asked. Okay, so this was the detail of business economics subject. Now we move further to the next question. This is business environment and international business. Whatever you books go through, you cannot make more than 8 questions right. 1 or 2 questions shall be asked in a way that you can never get to know from which subject these has been asked. Okay, they people are very clever in putting the examination. So that's why you have to go, you do not have to waste your time for many of the parts of these subjects. Okay, So let me tell you what to cover from economic environment and economic system. One question is highly expected. And after that, from political environment and legal environment, Consumer Protection Act, one question is highly expected. And after that, this is Foreign Exchange Management Act and Corporate Social Responsibility. One question is highly expected. And after that, globalization and its drivers. Okay, and modes of entry, very important topic. And one question is highly expected. Then theories of international trade, one question is highly expected. And from this particular portion, I have devoted it a complete sixth point or six number. Two questions are highly expected. I am not reading all the lines written in my slides because I have already given you the proper schedules by which you can make your study plans. Okay, in those schedules, each and everything has been written, and this is of no use reading all the lines and teaching you, because this is not of my teaching method. I prefer writing in the screen more than a reading from the screen. Okay, so FDI, foreign domestic investment, and balance of payment are very important topics, and two questions are probably uh, expected from this sixth point. Okay, so this is seventh point. One question is highly expected. Then from international economic institution, one question is expected. And from this is last, this is a World Trade Organization, one question is highly expected. Okay, so you have to cover in such a way that your undergraduation and post-graduation book should be sufficient. If you are our unpaid student, okay, then these books should be sufficient for you. And our regular video, some of our regular videos are for unpaid students as well, so you can go through from those. Okay, and you can never afford to skip the test series and the previous papers. Only then you can expect even 8 questions. Otherwise you cannot go beyond 4 to 5 questions, whatever the study material you go through. I'm 100% sure. So this is the last one. This is also the high scoring, but still, even if you are best at solving the practicals, okay, you cannot make more than 9 questions right. One question shall 100% be wrong. I don't, whatever the skill and ability a student can possess. Okay, and again, I'm stressing that you are not supposed to waste your time in solving the practicals. If the 10 questions are being asked from this particular subject, then no, then only one practical or the 2 practical will be asked. Okay, probability is that only one will be asked. So do not waste your time. Just clear your concept. Just merely clearing your concept is enough for accounting and auditing. Okay, so from basic principles, yes, one question shall be put. Then from partnership accounting, yes, one question shall be put. Then from this is corporate accounting, forfeiture, reissue, liquidation, acquisition, amalgamation. Very important topic, and 2 questions are expected from this particular topic. Okay, then marginal costing, and this is process costing. From these 2 modules, this is cost and management accounting and process costing. Okay, this was newly added in 2019 July, and my experience says that from jointly from this 4th and 5th point, which has already been written in the schedule as well, 3 questions are expected to be asked. This you can never afford to skip this particular part. Okay, then from this part, one question is highly expected. This is cash flow and fund flow, very important chapters you have to cover. Then this is more theoretical part than practical part. One question is expected from human resources accounting, and 100% from auditing, one question shall be put. Okay, and this can be in a way of passage as well. Then from last, this just 1 or 2 readings should be enough for to cover recent trends, and its probability is very low for the exam point of view. So all these for covering all these subjects, your books for UG and PG should be enough. And my suggestion is that you should not waste your time for solving practicals, but that doesn't mean that you should skip these completely. For clearing your concept, 1 or 2 practicals from each and every subject should be solved. And when you are confident enough that your concepts are clear by now, then you can move to the next topic. Okay. And as I have told you that you can get 10 marks from the first, this is business statistics, then from economics, then from business finance, then from accounting. And I am sure, and my experience for past 5 to 6 hours says these things. Okay. So that you have to gain from this. So finally, for our paid students, they do not need to go through from any of the books. And for those who have joined just for the information and the knowledge, you can study these parts, and some of our selected videos should be enough for you. Okay. So now you are for, I just leave my screen, and I would like to tell you all that you have to be regular with the test series and previous papers and daily test as well, so that your knowledge can be increased. So to all the students who are not able to join today, we shall provide the recording, but that shall not be regular. Okay. Because live lecture means live lecture. You have to attend the lecture provided by us. So this is a complete detail, and tomorrow we shall talk about the 5 subjects of a paper 1, okay, which were left yesterday. And to continue this particular subject, this is commerce, we shall continue its presentation on Friday. Okay. So this was all from my side. If any doubt or anything you wish to clear to me, you can ask personally to us. You can leave the message on our WhatsApp and Telegram groups, and personally to me as well. Okay. So I leave this meeting. Thank you so much for joining, and uh, I wish that you continue every day joining my lectures. Thank you so much.